Jesuits eschewed a flashy leadership style to focus instead on engendering 4 unique values that created leadership substance. 1, self-awareness. Now let's hold on that thought. Socrates said, the unexamined life is not worth living. Now that to me is one of the great statements. A lot of religious Christians would say, oh, it's not about self-examination, it's about Jesus. Of course it's about Jesus. But if you are, let me read it to you. Let me read you that text that I've got there on Galatians. I find this text one of the greatest texts. Brethren, I'm going to stop right there. If there's one thing we tend not to understand in the world today, it's brotherhood. Has anybody ever seen that movie, Band of Brothers? You seen it? Who saw it? Give me your hands quick. Okay. It's a brutal movie. It was a miniseries, wasn't it? Yes. A miniseries. Brutal. About, I don't know what company of men they were, American soldiers, but it took them from Normandy to Berlin. And they went through every stinking major battle that could have been fought. They were in it. And to be honest, I actually couldn't handle it. And they interviewed many of them at the end of the film and that, or interjected it. And all of the guys said the same, that they never found for the rest of their lives anything to compare with that brotherhood. With that unique fighting together, sacrificing for one another, laying down your lives for one another, because there was a greater cause. There was a whole nother devil. And most of us, we're not sacrificial. We don't live sacrificial lives, generally speaking, you know. And I just want to say that there's a call, I believe, coming to the church that God is putting a demand on us for brotherhood. Sisterhood just doesn't sound quite the same, if you know what I mean. For brotherhood, when people really understand what we're up against. You see, if we can see it now, then we'll be far more prepared than those who will see it 10 years from now. Brethren, if a man is overtaken in a fault, you who are spiritual, restore such a one in the spirit of meekness, considering thyself. Did you hear the considering thyself? I would call that self-awareness. Lest thou also be tempted. Bear one another's burdens and so fulfill the law of Christ. Here we go, verse 3. For if a man thinks himself to be something when he's nothing, he deceives himself. Yeah. That is one of my favourite verses. If a man thinks himself to be something when he's nothing, he's a number 4. Number 4s love girls but don't want to get married. Did you hear me? Yeah. Number 4s love football, but they don't want to commit to any team. They're just going to be free agents the rest of their life because there's more money in it. Yeah. Can you hear what I'm saying? Number 4s, I want to serve Jesus until Jesus uses a leader to tell them what to do. I don't have time for it. I'm too much military minded, even though I've never been a member of the military. Because I'm sorry, there is a certain element of Christianity that we've left behind somewhere called duty. Duty. I don't want to go to work and earn money for my wife and kids. You know, it's like, are you really committed to certain things? Like putting clothes on in the morning. Or is it still an option for you? No, it's not an option, Bob. I've never seen you walk naked. Thank God. Is a red light still an option for you, or are you committed to it? Don't ask Wendy that question late at night, but anyway. You hear what I'm saying? Is being committed to the kingdom of God still an option to you? Are you going to get offended when some leader says something to you? Come Mate. Remember, you do not join the army of God when you get born again. You get born again, you qualify to join the army of God. Then you have to join.
That's right.
You have to sign up.
That's right.
I'm going to try and move along there, but this is... For if any man thinks himself to be something when he's nothing, he deceives himself. Let every man prove his own work. In other words, you think you're serving God? Well, show me what you're doing. Show me the proof of your responsibility before God. Right? Isn't that what James says? And then he shall have rejoicing in himself alone and not in another. This is why Christians, moaning Christians, I can guarantee you, are doing nothing Christians.